Hello students, in the video final exercise wise revision tips கொடுக்க போறேன். ஒவ்வொரு எக்ஸசைஸ்ல என்னென்ன கான்செப்ட் இருக்கு, அதில் எந்த கான்செப்ட் ஹார்ட் ஸ்டைல் கேட்டகரியில் இருக்கும் அண்ட் ஈஸி கான்செப்ட், மோஸ்ட் ரிப்பீட்டட் கான்செப்ட். ஸோ எக்ஸசைஸ் வைஸ் கொடுக்குறேன். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் சாப்டர் ரியல் நம்பர்ஸ் and first exercise fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So here prove that it is a composite number, 2 mark question, and prove that 4 power n cannot ends with digit 0, 2 mark question, and revise all the possible concepts in factorization of real number, factorization of positive integers, and find HCF and LCM of 2 numbers and verify HCF and LCM of 3 numbers with remainder, without remainder. And finally, word problems. Word problem with HCF, word problem with LCM. And here, hearts category, apart from HCF, you have some more additional concepts. So divide the total by HCF like that, okay? So focus more on that type of problems. If any one word problem is given, how to identify whether it is that problem is related with HCF or LCM. So take care of that conclusion. Whenever if any required data is more, then it is LCM. If it is small, it is HCF. Okay. And second exercise, irrational numbers. So here prove that root 2 is irrational. This monomial like this. Prove that 3 plus root 2 is irrational. Prove that root 2 plus root 3 is irrational. Correct. And prove that 1 by root 3 is irrational. And prove that root 2 plus root 3 is irrational. So focus this. Okay, these type of questions are there in NCERT, but focus this little bit tough concepts, and always revise the working rule for this type of question also. But working rule is a little bit different. So simplify and then prove that. That's all. Okay. So this is a first chapter tips, and now second chapter polynomial. Geometric meaning of zeros of a polynomial. If graph is given, how many zeros are there? But little bit tough. If graph is given, find the zeros, not number of zeros. So based on this, for example, this is a graph. Here minus 1, 2. How many zeros mean? 2 0. Find the zeros mean the zeros are minus 1 and 2. Zeros are and minus 1, 2. Again, one more question. Write the polynomial mean this is a polynomial x minus x equal to minus 1, x plus 1 into x minus 2, k into. This is a polynomial corresponds to this. If it is open down, here you have to use minus sign. Okay. And the second exercise, relationship between zeros and coefficient of quadratic polynomial. Find alpha and beta and verify the relation between zeros and coefficient. That is a standard question. One mark question, 2 mark question you can expect based on this. Sum equal to product, find value of k, or what is the relation if sum equal to product, like that. If one root is reciprocal of the other, find k. If one root is negative of the other, find k. If sum of the roots equal to product of the roots, find k. Like that you can prepare all possible type of questions. For that you can refer R.D. Sharma or latest board past year question bank. And problem based on alpha beta. There are 3 types of problem in alpha beta. Find the value of an expression, and expression equal to some number, find unknown constant k, and form the quadratic polynomial if new zeros are given. That is very important in this exercise. If alpha beta are roots of the zeros of the given polynomial, form the new polynomial whose zeros are 2 alpha plus 3 beta and 3 alpha plus 2 beta, like that. Okay, so focus more on this. The whole exercise you have to focus conclusion. At the time of writing conclusion, use k whenever if you write the polynomial. So these are all the repeated concepts in polynomial. Next, pair of linear equation in 2 variables. First, focus more on a graph. In graph you have parallel lines, coincident lines, intersecting lines. So this is most important. If 2 lines are given, draw the graph. You can expect different types of questions. Solve graphically, show that the given pair of linear equation consistent or inconsistent. Also find the vertices of a triangle with respect to x-axis or with respect to y-axis. Shade the triangle or find the area of a triangle. You can practice different types of, so question is one, only the conclusion is different. So very rare you can expect 3 lines. 6-7 years back, one of the board question is 3 lines. So now 3 lines are given, definitely one of the line is either parallel to x-axis or parallel to y-axis. So don't worry about the third line. Third line is always either horizontal line or perpendicular line. Next, sometimes word problem is given, find the values of the question using graphically. Whenever word problem with graph is given, always focus more on scale. Okay, usually this type of problem, the scale is 1 centimeter equal to 1 unit, whereas in word problem that scale will change. So don't forget to write the suitable scale on the graph sheet. Next, elimination method. If method is mentioned, you have to follow that method. So practice 2 types of questions. Linear equations with integer coefficients, rational coefficients, irrational coefficients, decimal coefficients, and constant coefficients. Constant coefficient means like this: ax plus by equal to a minus b, and bx minus ay equal to something like that. So focus more on this. If method is not mentioned, you can apply either elimination or substitution, but elimination method is better. And substitution, when we can apply substitution method, if it is given, you have to follow. Otherwise, whenever one of the linear equation whose constant term is 0, then the substitution method is very best. Okay, so that is a advantage of substitution method. And the nature of PLE. So nature of PLE, you have a unique solution, infinitely many solution, and then no solution. Unique solution, you can expect either 1 mark or 2 marks. Find K for a unique solution, find K for no solution. For no solution 3 mark questions, you have to follow 2 rules. One rule, find the value of K by equating A1 by A2 equal to B1 by B2. And second stage, and using that value, prove that A1 by A2 not equal to C1 by C2 or B1 by B2 not equal to C1 by C2. And infinitely many solution, you have 2 types of problems. Find K for infinitely many solution. So in that case, you have 3 pair of conditions. Take any 2 pair, solve both the pair, and then you will get 2 answers, either 1 or 2 answers. Whenever if you get 2 answers, always select the common solution. And one more 5 mark question, find A and B for infinitely many solution. Find A and B for infinitely many solution. That is one of the repeated concept in nature of pair of linear equations. And last, word problems. So whenever a word problem is given, focus more on the type of the word problem, whether it is related with the linear equation or related with quadratic equation. So whenever the problem has the word product, it is always the word problem with the quadratic concept. Otherwise, it is always a linear concept. So go through all the types of word problems, problem based on commercial mathematics, problems based on numbers, based on fractions, based on age, and based on distance, speed, time, and miscellaneous problems. Okay, so practice similar types of problems. And very, very important advice, focus more on assumption. Clear assumption and clear conclusion is very, very important. And follow a suitable method. If method is not mentioned, so always follow the step deviation method. Always follow the elimination method. Okay, so you can expect a word problem either 3 marks or 5 marks. That is an important concept in pair of linear equation. And very important announcement for those who are planning to join NEET coaching. So at Marvel, we have NEET 2028 live online classes and offline classes. So we have integrated batch. We always focus NEET coaching based on NCERT syllabus. That is the real success of Marvel, because 685 students scored 490 in CBSE exam and 680 students scored 488 in NCERT. If you are strong in NCERT, then only you can get 650 and above. So that is very big advantage in Marvel. Like other institute, we never focus only NEET. We focus NCERT. After that, we will solve different level of MCQ questions. We have a complete digital platform with video lessons, online test series, and excellent study material. Also, dedicated faculties. So if you want to join, attend Marvel scholarship test MSAT on 15th March 2026. We'll share the links and other details in our Telegram channel, Marvel Classes. And this is our success. Marvel students joined all the top colleges in Chennai and other government colleges. Our top mark is 685 and 680. 3 students scored centum in zoology, and our top mark in NEET biology is 356. Yes, and the girl வந்து ஒரே ஒரு question மட்டும் omit பண்ணிட்டாங்க. இத்தனைக்கு அவங்க வந்து state board. So that is a very big strength of Marvel. And physics highest mark 172 and chemistry highest mark 172. Okay, and the 4th chapter, quadratic equations. First focus on basic concepts. If one root is given, find the value of unknown constant, and whether it is quadratic or not, what is the condition for it is not a quadratic, and factorization method. If method is mentioned, you have to follow that method. So linear quadratic equation with constant coefficient and quadratic with unknown constant coefficients. Coefficient with numbers and coefficient with alphabet. Focus more on alphabets. Ax square plus 2a plus b into x plus cx square, like that. Okay, and formula method. X equal to minus b plus r minus root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. If method is mentioned, always this. And very important advice, find the value of the discriminant and then substitute here. Whenever the problem is given, if method is mentioned, you have to follow. Otherwise, always follow the factorization method. If it takes time, then apply the formula method. And nature of quadratic equation, one of the very important exercise. So like linear equation, here also you have 3 cases. Unreal roots d less than 0, and real roots d greater than or equal to 0, and the real and equal roots d equal to 0. This is very important for 1 mark, 2 marks, 3 marks and 5 marks. You can expect very 1 mark question or 2 mark question in unreal roots, whereas in real roots always use greater than or equal to. When you can use strictly greater than means real and unequal. Okay, and very important for equal roots. Whenever equal roots is given, prove that it is equal roots or find k for equal roots. So that type, always calculate the value of the discriminant equal to 0, you will get one value. So very important, if you get 2 values, k equal to 1 comma minus 2. If the question is k minus 1 into x square dot dot dot, you have to reject this case. So at the time of writing conclusion, focus more on conclusion, whether both the values are possible or any one value you have to reject. Whenever if you reject one value, you have to mention the reason inside the bracket. Okay, that is one important advice. And quadratic equation with alphabet coefficients, prove that it is unreal, prove that it is real and equal, prove that it is equal. That type of question you can expect in 3 mark question. And what are the other type of 5 mark question mean? Find k for equal roots and hence find the zeros, one of the repeated quadratic equation. And if it is equal roots, at the end of k, after finding k, you can find equal roots, that you can always, it is a plus b whole square format or a minus b whole square format. Okay, and last word problems. So like in pair of linear equation, quadratic equation, you have 6 or 7 extra type problem. All the types are there, whatever the types are there in linear equation, same thing is there in quadratic. Apart from that, you have distance, speed, time. There we have distance related linear equation only, but here you have time related quadratic equation, upstream, downstream. Yesterday I posted some problem based on stream and problem based on both the sums are there on single page. You can compare the solution. That problem is available in our Telegram channel, Marvel Classes. If you want more important questions and sample papers and videos, you can subscribe our Telegram channel, Marvel Classes. And you have to focus more on additional type of word problems compared to linear equation. Problem based on geometry, problem based on mensuration, problem based on share of each person, like that. And whenever if you get quadratic equation square root, follow the substitution method. So here you have one additional type, that is whenever it is not in standard form. So maybe it may be the substitution type. After find substitution method, that reduces to quadratic equations. So one of the chapter which has huge collection of concept is quadratic. You can expect 5 mark question or 3 marks or 2 marks, and at least 1 or 2 1 mark questions. And next very big chapter is arithmetic progression. So it has 3 exercises. One is basics. But in this exercise, you have 2 important repeated concepts. One is x plus root 2, x minus root. Some 3 expressions are there. Find x so that these 3 terms are in AP. That is one mark, 2 mark question. And find 3 terms whose sum is given and another condition is given. Find 3 terms and find 4 terms, find 5 terms. Whenever it is 3 terms, you have to consider a minus d, a plus d. Whenever it is 5 terms, a minus 2d, a minus d, a plus d, a plus 2d. Here the common difference is d, common difference is d. Whereas 4 terms, you can't take the continuous term. You have to take the alternative terms. A plus d, a plus 3d. Here the common difference is 2d. At the time of calculating the value of d, most of the time you will get 2 answers, plus or minus. So for each case, you have to write 2 different AP. So both the APs are in reverse order. Even though it is reverse order, you have to mention both the cases. And nth term of an AP. So problem based on nth term of an AP, you have different types of 2 marks and 3 mark question. Find nth term, find a particular 24th term. Is that term belongs to an AP or not? Find the number of term, which is the first negative term, which term is the first negative term. So like that you have different types of 2 mark, 3 mark questions. Also middle term. So middle term you have 2 formulas. When a number of terms is odd, when number of terms is even. So focus more on middle term concept. You can expect either 2 marks or 5 marks. So sometimes most of the 5 mark question based on middle term also. And one of the tough sum is which is the first negative term, which term is the first negative term. And few simple word problem based on nth term. And another important exercise, the sum of first n terms of an APSN. So again, this is another important exercise and huge collection of problems. So here, problem with last term is given, if last term is not given. And compared to nth term, here you have more word problems. So first focus NCERT, after that PYQ. Okay. And very important, revise all the formulas. Now, in algebra, you have polynomials, pair of linear equation, quadratic equation, and AP. You have more chance of getting a high mark in AP, second one quadratic, third one PLE, fourth one polynomial. This is less important. And either AP or quadratic, you can expect more weightage. So this is 20 marks in algebra. 20 marks in algebra. So you have to focus all the 4 chapters to get 20 marks in algebra section. And triangles. So most of the students, even last time, at the time of revision, few students omitted NCERT question. Number 1, go through all NCERT questions along with solved examples. After that, PYQ. First exercise is only basic concept about similar figure, and BPT second exercise is also very easy. Okay, so practice NCERT as well as PYQ. If you have R.D. Sharma, you can go through all the sums, whatever you studied so far. And criteria of similarity, one of the very, very important. In NCERT exercise, you have 5 important questions, 3 problems based on median and 1 problem based on altitude, 1 is angle bisector, and focus more on solved example also. After NCERT, go through all the PYQ and practice all MCQ in the past year questions. Okay, and so those who are planning to join JEE coaching at Marvel, we have online and offline classes. So already a few students joined in JEE Mass batch. So coming March 15th, we have Marvel scholarship test, both online and offline. So after board exam, if anyone interested, you can contact the number 7022008008 or 7022005005. Hello students, now important concept in coordinate geometry. There are 3 exercises. One is distance formula, section formula, and midpoint formula and centroid formula. So distance formula, problem based on 2 points. You have different types of problems. If find one missing frequency, find the relation if PA equal to PB, and find the distance between 2 points. The points are alphabets, or points are trigonometric ratios. So trigonometric ratios and alphabets both are a little bit tough compared to numbers. And 3 points, whenever 3 points are given, you have equilateral triangle and isosceles triangle, right triangle, collinear and scaly triangle. Whenever once at the time of writing conclusion, focus more on conclusion. For example, if 3 values are unequal, so don't write immediately it is a scaly triangle. First check whether it satisfies Pythagoras theorem or not. Most of the time it satisfies Pythagoras theorem. If Pythagoras theorem is not satisfied, again don't write it is scaly triangle. Verify whether it is collinear or not. If it is not collinear, then only you can write scaly triangle. So for 3 unequal values, Pythagoras theorem first, second collinear, third only you have to write scaly triangle. And if 3 points on a circle is given, find the circumcenter and circumradius. So one of the important concept, and lengthy sum. And at the time of calculating the center and radius, and verify the condition of the given point. That is very important. And so how to apply simple method? Whenever 3 points are given, always select a point twice if it has lesser value. If it has 0 or 1 minus 1, take only once if the coordinates are larger value. And 4 points, if problem based on 4 points, if 4 points are given, instead of applying distance formula, always apply midpoint formula, and then additional concept you can apply distance formula. Second exercise, section formula. So you have only internal section formula. In the internal section formula, you have 7 to 8 different types of problem. If n points and ratio is given, find the value, find p. If p is given, find the ratio. If p lies on x-axis, p lies on y-axis, p lies on a straight line, that is a repeated concept. Also, usually you can easily write AP is to PB equal to 3 is to 4. Sometimes they will provide AP is to AB equal to 3 is to 7. So what is 3 is to 7? This is not second part, this is the whole part. You have to subtract 7 minus 3, 4. So very, very important sum. So at the time of reading, focus more on the given data. Whenever if you write the given data, check with the given question paper and then start the concepts. Okay. Then midpoint formula. Now using midpoint formula, you can prove 4 points are collinear. 4 points are form a parallelogram and rectangle. Rectangle also midpoint of AC equal to midpoint of BD, and then prove that it is diagonals are equal. Okay. And centroid formula. If midpoint of sides of a triangles are given, find the centroid or find the vertices. These are all the repeated concept. Also find the fourth vertex of a parallelogram, find third and fourth vertex of a parallelogram. These are all the repeated concepts in coordinate geometry. You can expect case study questions in this chapter, okay, with some figure. Next, trigonometry. This is a chapter. If you are clear in the concept, then trigonometry will be very easy. Now, first exercise is very easy. Trigonometric ratio. Using a right triangle, you can solve the problem. And very important, at the time of writing sides of right triangle, opposite side by hypotenuse, always use K. Okay. And trigonometric table. So whenever if you attend a trigonometric table value, first write the table in the answer sheet and then using the table substitute the value. And the trigonometric identity is split into 2 parts. One is regular identity, another one is conditional identity. Conditional identity means x equal to cos theta, y equal to sin theta, prove that. That is the conditional identity. Some condition is given, using that condition you have to prove one result. And trigonometric identity at Marvel, so I teach 15 types of problems in which first 4 types very important. That is using identities, using basic trigonometric ratios, using polynomial identities, multiply and divide by conjugate, method of cross multiplication, replace one by identity, and simplify LHS and RHS separately. Okay, so these are all the standard types of problems in this. But here, based on the given condition, you can prove the, you can apply the working rule to prove that result. Okay, in exam, that is today night and tomorrow morning, revise this exercise, that is conditional identity. Okay, so one of the very, very important and high weightage exercise in 10th standard is trigonometry, particularly trigonometric identities. Next, heights and distances. That is some application of trigonometry. Practice all 2-mark questions. That is problem based on one angle. Okay, problem based on 2 angles. Practice all type of questions, particularly speed related problem. That is, these two are the very important. An aeroplane flies horizontally, and speed, this one. In NCERT, it is, I think, 15th question in 9.1. These two are very important, tough questions for 5-mark question because both are related with speed. And this type 1, type 2, and type 3, type 4, and type 5, equal height. Okay, and type, and cloud sum. Find the height of a cloud. So these are all the standard 3 marks and 5 mark question. Again, you can expect a case study question in this chapter. So both trigonometry and heights and distances, you have 10 marks, which includes 5 marks case study, 2 marks and 1 marks. Okay, and next, circle. Yes, another very, very important chapter. So my advice is first to go through all the NCERT question along with solved example. One very big tough question is there in the solved example. That is a problem based on this question. Okay, this numerical question. So you have to focus this and go through all the results. These results are very, very important for 1 mark question. First, go through all NCERT questions and then past year questions. And important results for MCQ. Okay, so this is a high weightage chapter. So it has 3 theorems and it has 2 theorems. And you can expect both circle and triangle, you have 14 marks. So focus more on NCERT. After that, PYQ. After that, any other book, R.D. Sharma or R.S. Agrawal, whatever the book you are using, use that book, particularly solved example and repeated concepts. Okay, and CBSE 11th. Akilan Institute is one of the pioneer in CBSE coaching in Tamil Nadu. Yes, this is my 32nd academic year. Okay, with the high success rate. So we are the only institute in Tamil Nadu with maximum number of 490 every year. Last year our top mark is 492 and 2023 496, because we are focusing more on total. At the time of before board exam, we will focus other subject also apart from maths and science, social science, English, Tamil, Sanskrit and Hindi. In 12th standard also we focus computer science, biology, biotech, IP. That is the reason we are producing more 490s, and we produced 490s in all the 3 categories. 10th standard, 12th standard commerce students, 2 students scored 490 and above, and science student 3 students scored 490 and above. These are all the Akilan Institute toppers in CBSE board exam, 496. So this year my target is 496 plus. Already I gave a target to few students, and most of the students, my target is very simple. Board exam total is highest total in throughout their high school marks. Yes, from 1st standard to 10th standard, 10th board exam total is big total. That is my target. Okay. Yes. 2 very dangerous chapters, area relative circles and surface area volumes. Focus more on calculation. Avoid unnecessary calculations. So if you follow simple technique, you can reduce unnecessary calculation. How to avoid unnecessary calculation? Very important. Whatever the given data, you have to write the given data clearly before evaluation. So if 2 figures are given, write 1 figure name and then write all the data and check all the data are in same units, whether both are same centimeter or both are in meters. Okay, draw the diagram if possible, if you need. Okay, number 1. And in this chapter you have 2 concepts. This combined figure deleted, but last year 2024 case study question is combined figure. That's why I gave this exercise put star, even though it is deleted. Sectors, you have two concepts, minor sector and major sector. Find area of a minor sector, area of a major sector. What is the arc length of a minor sector, arc length of a major sector, perimeter of a minor sector, perimeter of a major sector. 6 concepts in this exercise. And here, area of minor segment, area of major segment, arc length, both are same in this this one. And what is the perimeter of minor segment, perimeter of major segment? Apart from this, practice few sums, problem based on number of rotation. If a wheel is rotated about that some distance or number of rotations, also wall clock, that sum, and some combined figures advisable. If you are aiming for high marks, please focus this combined figure also. Okay. Next, surface area volumes. Here you have only 2 concepts. One is surface area, another one is volume. And focus more on calculate, that is figures. A cube is there, an hemisphere is on the cube, or hemisphere is removed from the cube. Okay. And combined figure, cylinder, middle and top cone and bottom hemisphere, or in big cylinder, ice cream is that is number of ice cream. This type of question. A big container contains full ice cream. Find number of ice cream cones. Okay, so focus more on the data. Okay, so very important. Use pi equal to 22/7 or 3.14. If it is given in the question paper, write that given data in the answer sheet, and write all the given data and check whether the data are correctly written in your answer sheet. After that, you can start. First line, write the condition. So in this question, how to write volume of cylinder equal to n into volume of cone plus n into volume of cone plus volume of hemisphere. After that, calculate, and avoid the method of finding separate value and then adding that. That is waste of time. Whenever it is related with this, you can compare both the sides, you can cancel pi. No need to use 22/7 or 3.14. So only reduce into simplest form and then evaluate. So evaluation, that if a decimal, only at the decimal or any numerical value only at the end of the sum. So don't calculate the value separately and then add. Avoid that method. That is time consuming. You will make mistake. Okay. Next, statistics. Statistics, you have a class interval, discontinuous class interval, less than class interval, more than class interval, and yes, unequal class interval. So here you have 3 concepts in this chapter: mean, median, and mode. 3 methods: direct method, assumed mean method, step deviation method. So here only one formula. Okay. If method is not mentioned, always follow the step deviation method. And discontinuous class interval, that is very important. Discontinuous class interval. So whenever it is discontinuous, take the add and subtract average of the difference. Okay, that is applicable for all the 3 cases. Less than class interval. If it is less than class interval, change into continuous class interval and then apply the concept. Same concept for all the 3. If it is more than class interval, change into continuous class interval and then calculate this. And unequal class interval. So one solved example there in NCERT, go through that solved example, and then based on that you can solve, but it is not important. And one particular sum, and 2 more concepts, one missing frequency, find F1. If mean is given, median is given, mode is given. 3 questions. Find F if mean is given, find F if mode is given, find F if median is given, and last, find 2 missing frequency, F1, F2. In this is very important because it is there in NCERT. These 2 are not there in NCERT, but practice. If you are aiming for centum, practice F1, F2 sum in mean and mode also. In mean concept, always assume the that is A, that is assumed mean, not at the middle, corresponds to first unknown frequency. Then you will get linear equation, 1 variable, then calculation will be very less. You can easily get the correct answer. And avoid direct method, always follow the step deviation method. Okay, this is a complete concepts in statistics. And last, probability. Probability, so most of the students, they never focus about steps, content of the problem. They focus only N of A by N of S. So always write the sample space if possible, write total number of outcomes, and very, very important advice, write favorable outcomes. Instead of writing the number of favorable outcomes by total outcomes, write list favorable outcome and then apply the concept. Okay. And if the problem is related with 2 or more events, assume one event is A, another event is B, third event is C. If you assume by alphabet, you can use it in future substitutions. Okay. And the problem based on addition theorem, P of A or B equal to P of A plus P of B minus P of A and B. Probability of A or B, probability of neither A nor B, neither A nor B equal to 1 minus probability of A or B. These two are the repeated concepts. Whenever if it is 2 dice related problem, list all the 36 outcomes in the sample space and assume the events as A, B, C and then apply the concept. Okay. And if the problem is problem based on 1 coin, 2 coin, 3 coins and 4 coin also board question. And dice based on 1 and 2 dice and 52 playing cards. And very important advice, whenever if the problem is related with the cards and if condition is given, for example, from well shuffled pack of 52 cards, jack cards are removed, find the following. So first write jack cards are removed, then total cards equal to 48. Correct. After that you can follow the concept, keep it in mind that is jack cards are removed. And numbers, whenever the problem is related with numbers from 1 to 25, numbers between 1 and 25. So these two are the different concepts. And back contains 5 red balls, 3 yellow balls, 4 green balls. Problem based on that is also very important. And leap year, ordinary year, 53 Fridays, 52 Fridays in both the cases. So these are all the repeated concepts in probability theory. And good news, those who are planning to join NEET and JEE, we have a scholarship test on 15th March, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Both offline and online. Offline at KK Nagar, Chennai, for both the JEE and the NEET aspirants. And results on 17th March and admission enrollment starts from 18th onwards. We have only 1 month extra class. After that, May fully holiday. June onwards, the regular class starts. At last, my common advice and general advice for all the students, 10:15 to 10:30 question paper reading time. So that time you have to decide whether the paper, your question paper is easy, moderate or tough. If it is easy or moderate, check your answer end of every sum. Otherwise, not possible to check your answer at the end of every sum because it will take more time. Okay. And writing order, that is very important. If you are getting 90% and above in your school exam, you can write 1 to last. Otherwise, you have to write, this is my suggestion, 5 marks first, 4 marks, 3 marks, 1 mark and 2 marks. You can change the order, but not, you can't mix the questions. Okay. Now, so leave 2 pages for first 1 mark questions and 3 pages for 2 mark question. After that, every page for 3 mark question, and each 5 mark question you have to write 2 pages, both left and right side. And for case study, you need 2 pages for each question. And wherever you need, if you want to draw the diagram on the right top and explain the diagram, even though it is not geometry, if it is height and distances. If it is mensuration, you have to write the data based on the diagram. Okay. So don't forget, whenever if you draw a diagram, explain or write the data, depends upon the chapter. And the rough calculation only at the right side. And if the problem is related with trigonometric table, write the table in the right top. Okay. And general advice, that is, while striking out your question answers, use pencil, don't use pen. Okay. Next, subscribe our Telegram channel. We'll upload all the sample papers of all the subjects as well as important tips videos available. Also, save our numbers 7092005005 for online admissions and 7092008008 for offline admissions. All the best. expecting centum. Thank you. See you soon.